What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of our weekly podcast. We are batting practice. We got Jacob and Andrew. I'm Josh, as always, of course. The trio is back in town. We got a good one for you today. Um, Postseason baseball starts very, very, very soon. A couple days pretty much from today. So we'll be diving into that a little bit, looking at what is going on. A lot has happened since the last time we've looked at the baseball standings. So we'll be going through that, talking through it a little bit. And then we are playing basketball because we are talking Sorare NBA because they announced the thread. So we'll be going through it. What's new? We are excited. We can't wait, but we're going to have to wait a little bit because, boys, how are we feeling today?
Dude, that rendition, fantastic.
Thank
I
you.
You hit
like the
every note.
way you dribble up and down the court,
Thank you.
if you know
I
what I'm
I
talking about.
I might have done some vocal warm-ups before we started.
Wait, have you
Good.
done the TikTok trend? The Do Re Mi
That's
TikTok
exactly
trend?
what came that's exactly what came to my head when I said that. I
Oh,
have
does
not
Jacob
tried it.
know?
No,
Oh
I
man.
only upload to
Live?
TikTok. I don't watch TikTok.
Should we do
Oh,
it live?
no.
Do it live.
Oh, please no. But Jacob, what do you think? What do you think it is?
Oh,
The
The
do
do re
what?
mi tick, just some like goofy like warm up your voice sort of thing. Like
Okay. Yeah.
pretty much. Made
um
into like slightly into a game.
Yep. It's like so if you picture the game Flappy Bird, it is similar to how you have to get the bird in between the pipes, and the way to move it's in this case it's a little ball. You sing the right pitch. So if you sing the
okay.
right pitch, it goes to the next level. If you don't, you stay where you are.
All right. It's like that sounds cool.
It does.
But it's
It's
probably
all
Nice.
right.
funny watching people do it on TikTok.
It is. It is. Both the
It
people that are
is.
very good at singing and the people that are like me and cannot sing for the life of them.
Yeah.
Does it go like up and down? It's not just
Yes.
do,
Yeah.
do. Okay.
It
It's
goes all
like
the way up.
do,
Yeah.
Oh, he's ready. He's
la,
ready.
do. No, I can't. I can't. It's like with piano or guitar, like I can play what sounds good, but I can't tell you a single thing about music theory. I can repeat. If you give me a pitch, I can match your pitch. But
Okay.
if you're like sing a song right now, you don't want to hear that.
Hmm.
You
Fair.
know?
So maybe we'll have to do a batting practice karaoke,
Oh
like
gosh.
Yeah.
loser challenge, maybe.
Okay.
Loser
Loser.
challenge. Speaking of loser challenge, I'm glad you mentioned this.
Oh no, did I
Oh,
lose?
Andy Reid's mustache with Isaiah Pacheco on the IL takes over Lulu's losers out of
wow. It's not even my name.
Elafield, Wisconsin. I beat Nosh in fantasy football this
It's
weekend.
not my name.
There we go. All right, what are you singing, Josh?
I'm 0-3 in that league. And yet
Uh-oh.
I feel very
Uh-oh.
confident about my team. My team is good. I don't understand what's happening. Um, when your running back hits you point 0.3 points, that's not good. Um, you're destined to lose at that point. Uh, but yeah, you beat me. I don't know. My team on paper feels good, and I don't know why they're just not performing. But I feel like I'm still okay. I will say, I know we're getting way off topic here, but I have received two trades in the last 2 days from some of Andrew's friends. They are awful. Like completely unfair trades. And I'm like reading it and I'm like, why would I ever do this? So I think your friends see that I'm 0-3 and they're trying to
Yep.
scam me out of my good players. But I won't fall for it. So we will revisit this at the end of the fantasy football season, where I will not be in last place.
And
All right.
it's funny, Sorare is a little bit like fantasy sport. I mean, that's why we got into it, but yet there are elements that are different than Sorare. Like we don't theoretically we each compete against each other every single game week in MLB, in NBA, but it doesn't because there's so many people. Like I have no idea how I did relative to Josh or Jacob in any week unless we share a screenshot of, our lineups and we share the reward we won. It would be cool if there was some sort of like league aspect to it. I know they've toyed with
Rivals?
private leagues with rivals. That's fine. But I want like what if we did a fantasy, like, can we have a fantasy basketball league, a fantasy baseball league within Sorare? Obviously, it's a little hard because it can be pay to win at times. Uh, but at the same time, I think with card prices where they are, I don't think the financial burden to jump in, especially if you're playing classic. I think you could have a very competitive lineup. We've done it before on some previous episodes where we've built a very competitive team at a decent price. So your talk of fantasy football leagues got me thinking we should have that in Sorare too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, why not? Like you said, rivals. And we're gonna get to NBA coming up soon and their daily fantasy games, so we'll touch on that too. But yeah, we'll see how and if Sorare implements something like that in the future. I mean, what's I guess like what's stopping us from keeping track of our own scores and putting it into a Google spreadsheet and then like we could theoretically do that ourselves. But it'd be cool to see that aspect in the game.
I mean that is exactly how fantasy sports got started.
Yeah.
People read the newspaper, they got the stat lines, they did it. We could do a homers only league. Maybe that's something we do for next season. We do a dingers only league. That would be kind of fun for so
I
rare.
mean, so fun fact, our parents or our dads, I guess, did fantasy football and this is way back. This is the 90s. This is before we were even born. They were doing fantasy football, fantasy American football, and they were just doing kickers and then quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and maybe tight ends, but they were just doing field goals, extra points, and touchdowns, and that's it. No yards, no points per catch, points per carry, none of that stuff. So, yeah, and they did it. They kept track every single week. They would go into the paper, the sports section, and keep track like that. And now we have spreadsheets that can do that for us, but then we also have um like other things like Sorare where we can play too.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But
The good old days.
before we talk about fantasy, and we'll loop fantasy into it, but we're going to talk mainly fantasy basketball today. Let's talk some baseball because, like Nash said at the beginning, standings are way different than what they used to be, and it's fun. It's kind of comfortable as a Brewers fan to sit and watch the other teams fight over spots when it's been us. Although recently we've been taking those division titles pretty seriously. But it's nice to watch other teams kind of fight for the playoffs. We can just sit back and be like, all right, this is maybe who we're gonna play. This is maybe who we're gonna come up against and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at some baseball.
And yeah, I'm gonna need your help. Honestly, as a Brewers fan, I have totally checked out from what's going on in baseball. So this will be great for me to hear. I feel like for me, this is the time of year where if the team I follow is clinched or is out, I kind of tune out, and then I'm like, all right, playoffs, it's a new slate. I'm gonna jump back in again. It's kind of like going to a movie, falling asleep for the first hour, and then being like, well, I guess I can't really follow this right now because I missed the first hour of this movie. So I'm like, I might as well just wait for the credits to roll in because I can at least listen to those. But obviously, Brewers clinched. Looking at the fan graphs, lots of teams have clinched. Looks like three teams are fighting out. Who, Jacob, from your perspective, has had the biggest fall from grace over the last couple of weeks? Which fan base is having the pitchforks out for their owner, besides obviously maybe the Oakland Athletics?
Oh man, you already answered it for me.
Uh-oh.
The A's,
They weren't going to make the playoffs.
no, they weren't going to make the playoffs, but their owner, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, as of recording this, put out one of the goofiest, like,
The
we're
letter.
sorry that you're sad that we're leaving.
Yep.
We tried, but we didn't actually try. And it's kind of funny because he probably just had his PR team sit down and write this letter and without actually putting any emotion into it, if he actually put any work into it himself at all. Get behind the camera, say something, man. He's scared. I don't know.
Yeah.
That is
I
pretty
mean,
weird.
there's very clear, like, well-run organizations in baseball, and then there's very clear not well-run organizations in baseball. And I think the A's might take the top spot in the terms of not well-run. But Andrew, going back to your
Wait,
question,
yeah. I
and
was gonna say, let me answer your
yeah,
question for real.
and we're just
Um,
talking the last couple weeks, correct?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it
I
comes from the same. I have two teams that come from the same division.
oh,
And Nosh, you might be on the same train here. But this is also a shout out to your Comerica Park Detroit Tigers,
Oh,
a
yes,
stadium
sir.
that I have been to. Nosh, you've been there. Andrew, maybe?
no
I
Tigers.
don't remember if you.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. But
I've been to
me and
Ford
Nosh have
Field.
definitely been there. Yeah. Okay,
There you go.
that's the wrong sport. But hey, you're an honorary Tigers fan because not only have the Twins played
Yeah, look at that.
um their I just got the L10s up. In the L10s for the Royals and the Twins, they're both 3-7.
Yeah, it's not good.
Royals
It's a
actually
choke.
went on a full 7-game losing streak pretty recently too. And the Twins have kind of just followed them downhill, whereas the Tigers, they're L10, 8-2. 8
There we
and
go.
2.
Amazing.
Everyone's helping out on that team. I mean, you could go down the line. Obviously, Riley Green has been great, but then everyone on their pitching staff has been coming through. We have like McKinstry, who's been playing out of his mind. Torkelson, he's back. Is he back?
Yeah, no, I never
He
slandered
is
him on this
back.
podcast. I
Yeah,
heard some other people did, but
I
I never
know.
slandered him.
I know. Miguel Cabrera is gonna unretire for the
Okay.
postseason. I don't know. The
Maybe.
Tigers look hot, and it's been fun to watch the AL Central for sure. Nosh, I don't know if you were gonna say someone from the same division or one of these teams, but what do you think?
Yes. I was gonna go with the exact same team. The Twins. I'm trying to figure out here. Um, days.
They got the purple
They
human eaters over there though, so they're all right.
they were a team that was
True.
in first place for a decent chunk of the season, with the Royals kind of trailing behind them just by a little bit. And we also have the Guardians, obviously, which have been amazing this year. But the Twins were always up there, and they were in first place for a little bit, and then they have been basically the top wildcard team since. Um, but yeah, they've played awful in the last month and a half, I think it's been since they've kind of fallen, and they are currently on the outside looking in at two other teams from their division. So that's not a very good
Wow.
look for them. I think the bar has been set in Minnesota that they're a winning team. They've been in the playoffs a decent amount in the last 10 years, and they might not make it this year. As of right now, it's looking like they will not make it this year, being 2 games out. That's a lot considering we're approaching the final series of the season. So I don't know. Twins, not pretty end to the season here.
But the Tigers, boys, Lions and Tigers. I mean,
Shout out.
Connor, for I would love to see the stats. I'm sure someone's got it. For your team to have a Cy Young, probably winner, I'll call him the winner at this point, in Scooball. Um, how many teams have had a Cy Young winner and not made the playoffs? Probably usually going to be, correlated with one another because you're going to get a lot of wins out of that person, very low ERA. So at least, and they're going to, anchor your team for most of that season. So the fact that they've had him all season long performing at a very high level, now everyone has just kind of picked up the slack and playing well. So awesome to see that. And I always think to myself, like obviously May, June, July matter, but it's these teams that get hot at the end of September. I think the Nationals back in 2021, 2020, those are the teams that you got to watch out for in the playoffs. So, okay, Tigers, keep an eye out. Anyone in the NL that fell from grace? Obviously, the Cubs have been falling from grace ever since they signed Craig Counsell. Just gonna kick some more dirt in that wound. Brewers have been playing out of their mind. Uh, Diamondbacks, Padres. Could we have a first ever World Series win coming up from either the Brewers or the Padres?
Wait, Andrew, what if, hear me out here, this is not out of the question. And it seemed like it's been out of the question for a long time, but it's not. The Padres might win the division. They're two
Whoa,
games back of the Dodgers right now. I know
whoa.
I just got done saying 2 games is a lot right now, and it is, but the Padres have a decent chance of passing up the Dodgers and winning the division and making the Dodgers play a wild card series
Oh no, not
against
against us.
probably the Diamondbacks or
Oh,
against
good.
the Mets.
Oh,
Dodgers Mets would be an incredible wild card series. So yeah, that is a possibility still, but I think you have to say the Braves. They've been somewhat of a disappointment all year long, but they haven't played great as of recently. They have a ton of injuries. It happens. But they're only a half game out of the wild card, so it's hard to say they're a disappointment when they're pretty much right there to make the playoffs this year. But for their standard, probably not as good as they should be.
when you lose your two best players, that's
Yeah,
kind of hard to bounce back from. But
Definitely.
I
they still
mean,
have the pieces around them to do
It
well.
happens. It happens.
Obviously, like Ozuna, Michael Harris, had some really good starts to the year. We're all human at the end of the day.
I mean, again, every team definitely faces injuries, more teams than others. I'm not
Brewers.
going to sit here and say Yelich is Ronald Acuna and Woodruff is Spencer Strider. But you could argue that Woodruff and Yelich are our top pitcher and hitter, and we are without them for the year. So uh, every team deals with it. Braves have it a little bit worse than others, I think, just because of the caliber of player. But still, you look at their team, still it's a solid team, and they have good pitching. So still probably a disappointment for those fans.
I don't know. They were loving it against the Dodgers.
They
I
Yep,
think
were.
they're still clinging on to the hope down there in Atlanta
I
that
think
they
so
can make the
too.
playoffs.
Win
And
three.
they can. They can. Just
Padres are
win.
9-1 in their last 10.
Wow. Talk about a team getting hot. Hot.
Wild.
They clinched. Yeah, they clinched last night with a triple
One
play.
of the greatest clinches of all time.
Yeah.
A triple play with Otani on deck. That's amazing. Yeah, that's okay. Going back to the whole 2 game thing. I'm not saying the Padres are going to sweep the Dodgers, but if they do, they'd be tied
Oh,
for the division. Pretty wild.
that's why I
Let's see
have the
it.
divisional games right there at the end.
That's why you play 162, baby.
Yep. Okay.
But like to answer your original question, there isn't an equivalent to the Twins and the Royals in the National League.
Okay.
Um, just plain and simple. Nosh, you already said Braves, Acuna, Strider. Let's not forget about Albies has also
Right.
been hurt. Um, Yeah, and they're still fighting for a playoff position. Matt Olson has not hit nearly as many home runs as he did last year,
Oh,
but they're still up there. And they're relatively disappointing for sure in terms of teams that they've had in the past. But from what they got right now, you can't be mad at 86 and 71. 5 games out, or sorry, point 0.5, 1/2 game out of a wild card spot going into 5 games left with the season. So, yeah, we will see. We will see. Diamondbacks, we will see. Maybe someone will lose 5 games in a row, and we'll be coming back next week and answering that question again. Ooh, this team fell off because they lost their last 5 games of the season. I don't know.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
All right. Since Jacob's wearing a Brewers shirt and I'm wearing a Brewers hat, quick little homer question for you.
oh, homer
Who
question.
do you want to see play the Brewers in the wild card round? What team are you hoping that they draw?
Give me the Diamondbacks again, man.
Really? The
I
Diamondbacks
think they
scare
can
me a
No.
beat them.
lot.
I think they can beat them this time. Um,
Okay. I like it.
Recently
Revenge.
they didn't, but they kind of had clinch hangover. And before they had clinch hangover, they took, was it 2 of 3 or 3 out of 4?
3 out of 4. And
Yeah,
should have won the fourth game too.
right. In Arizona. Arizona's definitely beatable, and I think they could handle that for sure. I was just at the Braves game. That would suck to have to root against the Braves. And the Mets, man, if
Hot.
Lindor comes back,
Yeah. Alonzo.
Mets are dangerous, man. Mets are dangerous, and they're kind of hot too.
How about none of
Yeah.
them? Anyone but the Dodgers. I'll say that. Anyone but the Dodgers.
I don't think it's
ABD.
statistically possible to play the Dodgers.
That's good. That's good.
Well, not in the first
Not this
round.
round.
Not in
Yeah,
the first round.
yeah.
I
There we
should
go.
clarify. Odds are, if you win, you probably will have to play them eventually.
That's
Yeah,
how it
I like
works.
that. I think the best answer to that question is whoever goes into the playoffs on the worst um like
Pudding.
record. So right now it is the Diamondbacks. They're 5-5 in their last 10 compared to 6-4 for the Mets and the Braves. So whoever goes in the coldest, that's who you want to face. Or is that scarier because they're cold and they're gonna get hot?
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know. It's a tough question. At the end of the day, if you want to make it anywhere in the MLB playoffs, you got to beat the best teams. So it
Yep.
doesn't really matter who you play. You just have to win.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I
There
think
you go.
of the teams, they kind of feel equal to me, honestly.
Agreed.
After the Dodgers, just because I feel like they're the Brewers' kryptonite, I'm probably speaking that into existence. Well, the realities also existed too. But all the teams you
True.
mentioned, the Mets, Diamondbacks, Braves, those just feel equal to me. I feel like we just gotta, it's, I feel like the Brewers are gonna win by their opponent, by being just better than their opponent. That's plain and simple. They can't expect their opponents to play poorly. They just need to play better.
Like the White Sox Twitter recently. They just need to score more runs than the opponent scores.
It's that simple. It's literally that simple.
Oh, really?
That's ball. That is
Speaking
ball.
of ball,
I
should
don't
we
know.
dunk on?
Yeah.
Should we dunk
Should
on this
we?
Sorare NBA update?
Let's do it.
Oh, dunk on him.
Yeah.
Basketball?
Could
Can't
you
believe
touch?
it.
Can you dunk, Josh?
No.
Huh.
Can you touch
I
rim?
I can touch rim, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Okay.
Pretty sure. When's the last time you tried to touch the rim?
Yeah, that's a good question. I couldn't tell you the last time.
Do you think if you trained hard enough, could you dunk?
Yes, I think any of us here could dunk if we trained hard enough.
Really?
Yeah.
You
I
think
used
I
to be
could
able,
dunk?
before I got
Yeah.
injured, I could jump pretty high. I don't think I could dunk. Definitely couldn't dunk. I don't know why I said that like I had a chance.
No, that's they gotta have the confidence.
Yeah.
I don't have the confidence in my ability to dunk.
You
Uh,
could do it if you trained hard enough. You can increase
all
your
right.
vertical.
All right, Josh, I want you to we're gonna do batting practice at the gym. We're gonna
Okay.
do some workouts, work on that vertical. We'll
All
do it.
right.
But I
Sounds
also
good.
feel like I need to work on palming too, my finger dexterity.
Can't help you there.
There's no way to do that.
Size wise, I can't make your fingers bigger.
Okay. Other things?
What?
Okay, pause.
Pause.
Ask
Hold
Jerry
on.
Jones. Ask Jerry Jones.
Oh God. Okay. Oh God. Okay. Oh jeez.
We have a
Uh,
release schedule
yeah, Sorare NBA.
for
Woo!
Sorare NBA that was just announced 22 hours ago as of recording this.
They knew we were
Sometimes you
recording.
just need that subject to get changed. Sometimes you just need to, make an executive decision. Yes, we're back. Sorare NBA. What did we talk about as batting practice as a podcast when the baseball is in the off season? Well,
When
we
the
got the
baseball,
basketball. We got the basketball.
we
Yes,
have the
sir.
ball.
And it's getting me more excited. Me and Nash talked about it, Andrew, when you were still but before you
Honeymooning.
were jet lagged, before you became part European. Me and Nash touched on the Sorare NBA. But no, now we're back and we have a lot of gameplay updates, which we're gonna go over for sure. And
Hints of an
supposedly
update.
hints of an update. We're gonna
Yes,
talk
yes,
about
yes.
this
It's
as
never.
of if you hear like today or yesterday, stuff like that. It's just because of when we're recording this is what we're talking about. We're recording this Wednesday, September 25th, which is the day, according to the first post on the update. Today we're supposed to get the card design reveal. We
I'm
pumped?
excited.
Let's
Dude,
go.
we just got the So Rare football card design reveal maybe like a week ago, pretty
Yep.
recently, and it's pretty good. And we'll see if NBA follows that or not. What do you think? But that's later today.
Yeah.
Yesterday we just got this post, which they included in their graphic, which is funny because it's like, here's update number 1. It's this post. But then tomorrow, this is what I'm excited about. Daily game reveal. It's too
Yes.
bad
Yeah.
we're not podcasting tomorrow because this is like the number one thing that's intriguing to me is this daily game. Is it going to be like Rivals? They've already told
No.
us there's going to be
No.
Essence.
No rivals.
Is it going to be free to play?
Maybe. Don't be common.
Is
I say
it going to
it'll be both.
have
Both.
cash rewards, box rewards, card rewards, all of the above rewards, new rewards? I don't know. That's tomorrow, unfortunately. And then the day after, which is Friday, is the rest of the gameplay structure reveal. So let's speculate. Let's speculate a little bit. Andrew, you immediately you
Yep.
were like, no, it's not Rivals. Why
Yeah.
not?
I think, well, I mean, because I have a guess as to what it could be. Uh, Obviously, I played DFS fantasy basketball back in the day. I did 1 year of a fantasy basketball league, but DFS was way more fun. I think the if I am prognosticating on what it's going to look like, I think it's going to be very similar to the current contender and champion, but limited to a single day. So whereas today's competitions are 4 day and 3 day, just like baseball, I think these will just be single day ones, which will, I think, help. One of the things that I think became not a problem, but because there were 3 and 4 game series, there were so many cheat code guys that if you just did not have, especially at the limited level, you are not going to win. It's that classic, the Warriors have 4 games and they're going to rotate, and their bench players are going to have one good game over that day, and you don't even have to know which day it's going to be. You just know, like, okay, I know Curry is going to rest a game, and all of a sudden Jordan Poole is going to have a monster one. um it doesn't take that much skill, in my opinion, to make that guess. I personally am excited about daily because you're not just making a prediction over the next couple of days. You're saying, I think this player is going to have a good game tonight. And there's so much because injuries happen and they're announced right before game time. One of the other frustrating things is if your guy got out the second game, think about Giannis back last season. He was resting random days, and you often didn't know within a game week when he was going to play. This way, you can play your Brook Lopez, you can play your Chris Middletons with confidence. So I think it's going to be, if I were to guess, it'd be very similar to the current competitions, but just limited to one day. Anyone have any differing thoughts?
I mean, the only amount of info that I can glean from this post is that it says one sentence designed to keep you engaged with fresh challenges every single day. So maybe there's
That
going
does
to
sound
be
rivals.
restrictions on lineups you can build, kind of like the special weeklies in baseball, could be under 23, under 25 from a different country, so on and so forth. Maybe that's what the daily game is going to be. And maybe I'm just reading completely into it and it's going to be like a rivals sort of challenge where you
Sure.
have to say hit a certain points threshold or have your center get this many rebounds or something like that, where it either way giving you challenges that you can then, I assume the big word, win boxes, at least essence, stuff like that.
Ooh,
So
Essence.
fresh challenges, fresh mozzarella every single day. Not bad. I think it's going to be something similar to those challenges and rivals, or something similar to like a special weekly but daily, if that makes sense. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a completely new non-introduced feature before, we'll see. But
We
anything else? Anything else about the daily game?
They did tell us some names. They dropped some hints. One is called
Okay.
Pure Play, one is called Dishing Dimes. So if I were to guess at those, I would guess Pure Play, you have to play the exact position of a player, not just where today it's position less. I think you'll actually have to play the precise position. Dishing Dimes sounds like a great passing stat or assist boosted category where those are worth more than normal. So maybe like how we saw in baseball where they have the different competitions that I don't know kind of popped up sometimes for 2 game weeks in a row. Maybe this just happens at a daily level for NBA.
Yeah, I don't, again, it's easy to read into stuff and I don't know if they're correlated or not. It based on the wording they use, it doesn't seem like it, but two threads down from the daily game reveal talk, they're talking about multi-entry.
Yeah, I was gonna
And it
say.
it seems like multi-entry is more tailored towards your traditional game week, as it states in the post. But how great and how it seems to be correlated that they're going to have daily games and weekly or game week games where you can use the same cards. So it seems like they can be correlated where you can submit the same cards into your game weeks as you can into daily games. Um, so we'll see if
So
that is a correlation or not.
so multi-entry, from what I'm getting from this, is that you can now enter more than one lineup into a certain competition.
Yep.
So, like for your classic, oh, what's it called?
Contender.
Contender and classic champion or whatever the other one is called.
Yep.
Um, you can enter three lineups into each of
Per
those for limited.
competition. Oh,
Yep.
okay. That
Yes.
makes sense.
This doesn't necessarily mean you can use your card twice for daily and for
Right. That
weekly
may be the case.
competitions. Maybe, maybe, but when
but
they
maybe not.
mention multi-entry, that's what they're talking about,
Yes,
which is very interesting.
right.
Which
What are you guys' thoughts?
I personally, as a sperm whale, Andrew, I know
Mm,
you would agree with me. Nash, I think you would agree with me as well, as we are all a what is a group of whales called? A pod?
pod, a pod.
Uh,
We're a
We're a
podcast.
pod of
we
sperm
are
whales.
we
We
are a
oh wow,
pod.
that actually
I
that
mean,
kind of works
yeah.
out.
This is the
We're a pod.
podcast.
Um, but we all have had cards that are good cards. Maybe not your tier one type players that you're putting in your best lineup, but cards that are sitting around in your training lineups or just on your bench. And they're not winning six man of the year reward
Nope.
because you can't even use them. And now you'll be able to enter multiple lineups into these competitions and you can use these cards. So I definitely have had lineups that I could have entered like multiple or competitions that I could have entered multiple lineups into last year. So it's nice that I'm going to get to use more of my cards for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
because last year they had the two competitions required 10 cards in champion and contender. Sometimes there's a rotating special weekly. So at the most, at a scarcity level, you were using 15 cards.
right.
Now, assuming we don't know about special weeklies or daily game, if we just focus on the core competitions, assuming contender and champ stick around, we're talking about 30 cards now every week. And that's not even considering daily or special weeklies. So we've doubled the amount of cards that you can use every week. And for me, that's huge because that was one of my biggest complaints with Sorare NBA is baseball's nice because you have to use seven. So I was never really struggling to or getting frustrated by the amount of players I was leaving on my bench. But in NBA, the fact that there's only five required, it really took the requirement of having cards off of you. But now I think it's rewarding managers who have lots of cards and hopefully incentivizing those that don't to go out and buy more, which at the end of the day, that's what Sora wants us to do.
Yeah.
Do you see any problems with that though? What's the downsides to multi-entry?
It sucks if you only have one team. If you are a player with like 8 cards and you are
True.
building one team on a rotating basis, that does kind of suck. Um, and theoretically, it's just more competition.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you look at like the top of the top and a true whale account like Andrew, there's enough talent in the NBA where you can make three
Oh,
very competitive lineups.
oh yeah.
Well,
So
three of the same lineups, I
True.
think.
right.
I assume.
Yeah, you probably could.
Yeah.
That's true. If you
Triple down.
so in competition or in champ and contender, you could have double of each card and just submit one in each competition, correct?
Or one in each of the same competition. You could have
I'm
the same
hoping
lineup twice.
You
that you
think you can
won't
have the
be
same lineup
able.
twice?
Why
I
not?
hope you won't be able to set, even if you have a duplicate of that card, you won't be able to set
Yeah, that
a
would seem like
same lineup
a
with like
flaw
a same player in it.
because if I have two Wembenyamas and I have two Currys and two Giannis's and whatever, I know there's a salary cap, but theoretically speaking, that means I could get first and second.
Right. No, if you entered a winning lineup 3 times, you would get first, second, and third, and that would be kind of silly.
That does seem a little silly.
So there has to be some sort of like, oh, you can't enter the same player twice in the same level of competition. Or maybe you can. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I get that'll be interesting to
I'm going to
see.
complain
Yeah.
about it if you can.
But flip side
Because,
though, if Curry gets hurt, Giannis sits, you're gonna all those lineups lose. You don't win anything.
Right,
So
right.
that's obviously the risk to it.
right.
It
Right.
does feel like you said it definitely slightly rewards or gives a better chance to the higher valued accounts. and takes a little bit of chance away from the lower value accounts. But again, like you said, at the end of the day, Sorare is a business. They want people to buy more cards. So how do you do that? You have more opportunities to play them. So it makes sense from their side. But yeah, it does feel that way a little bit.
The one worry I have, we've talked about before how many rewards have you won in Silver MLB this year, how difficult it has been to win cards. Granted, I think Essence will really help with that. If I opened up half my boxes this year and won Essence instead of the random chance to win a card, I probably would have an Otani by now. Uh, so I'm optimistic in that sense that the rewards with Essence will be better. I do worry though that just if you think about it, if the number of people playing Sorare NBA is the same, which we should expect some growth. Now all of a sudden the number of lineups entered should theoretically be 3 times higher, ignoring any change in the number of people playing. Uh, so
I
that
would say less than 3 times higher, but
Sure, some could be as high as 3 times,
yes,
probably
could
somewhere
be. Yeah,
between 2 and 3 times.
yeah.
Um, but it's one of those things. I do worry how difficult it is going to be to win cards, win essence, win anything, with just how many lineups will be entered. That's my only worry. Um, they could fix that obviously with how they do it in football with division structures, so that the managers with only 8 cards would be in a lower division. Those whales like myself would be in the higher divisions, battling it out. So maybe that is a way you can fix it. But as it stands right now, uh, we have the table of contents of the book. We have no idea what the actual story is about, what's the detail, who are the characters. So we'll see. We'll get that by the end of this week. So I'm excited. That's all
Well,
I can say.
Andrew, do not fret, because if you scroll down a little bit, they talk about the prize pool. And
Little
this
bit,
is in
very
and this
little
is
bit.
in pro, so we'll see about other ones. Um, Although it does say classic competitions, but only for new season cards?
No.
See, this
See,
is
the
that's how I
dude,
said it's table of
the
contents.
verbiage gets really confusing to me, so I'm sorry if I'm totally messing this up. But they claim that at least 25% of all lineups across every competition will win something.
Something.
Boxes, baby. Reward
It just
boxes.
says rewarding at least 25% of lineups. So that is a set number, which I think is a good thing. Like you said, it's there's going to be more competition, but if it's a set percent of people winning each time, that makes more sense.
Makes more sense, but that's also very hard to scale. So, but
Very hard to
at the
scale.
same time, obviously as a manager, it's great. Yeah, if it's a fixed percentage, then that's great for us, bad for so rare. But yeah, we'll see.
I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of boxes in essence. I
But I
think
like
cards
Essence,
cards might be
guys.
a premium. Cards
I
might
like
be
Essence
a
too.
huge premium to win this
Essence
year.
is a dub.
Essence
Yeah.
is great. I won
Um,
Essence in
for the
baseball
non-football
yesterday.
players out there, Essence, you can essentially use it to craft a card, and the more
Yeah,
Essence you have, the better tier you can craft.
yep. The higher
Um,
chance to craft a better tier.
I was going
yeah,
to say, just because, and from what I've seen and understand in football, when people craft a tier 5 card, that doesn't mean they automatically get a tier 5. You just have a lower chance of getting a higher tier.
Right, you roll the dice. It's a weighted
Okay,
die, and the die is more weighted to tier 5 than tier 1. And
sure,
then as you spend more essence, the die gets more weighted to tier 1 and less to tier 5. So it's more just like how much certainty do you want in the card.
right.
sure. And there's a 0% chance of rolling market credit.
Don't say those words to me.
You're right.
Please
I'm
do not
sorry.
say those words
If they
as I
if
sit
they
here.
if they include a chance at market credit in essence, it that just completely ruins it.
Do you guys
We'll
think you
see.
could get within $5 of how much MLB market credits I have?
Oh God. Is it? It's a lot. No, it's
432.
more than that. I was gonna say like 750.
What?
Okay,
Is it
Jacob is
over
closer.
1,000? Oh, okay. I
No,
was gonna
it's
say.
$532.
I said
Jeez.
432. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yep.
I should have said 532.
You're close. You're so close.
I have, I have
I'm not gonna spend it.
353.
I have 300.
I I I'm content with my teams.
Yep.
I don't know what to
Yeah.
spend it on.
Yeah.
It's like when you leave Dave and
I spend it on
Buster's, that
Essence.
money's not worth jack when you leave the arcade.
It's true. That is true. Well,
Can't get a loan from David Buster's cash.
Essence. Why we didn't get Essence in MLB this year, the world may never know.
But we got it for NBA boys. We're
You're
happy.
right.
We're happy
It's
about
okay.
Yes.
that.
We got it.
That's
We
a
got
dub.
it for the off season. Exactly. And again, full reward breakdown coming out Friday, September 27th. Maybe I will make a one-off video for that.
Oh, no
We'll
lie.
see. We will see. Full reward breakdown where we're going over essence and boxes and everything all knowing about market credits. We can have Andrew feature in the video to talk about
Oh,
market
yeah.
credits.
Boo.
Are you on the Sorare article or are you on Twitter?
I don't. I try to avoid being on Twitter.
That's very smart. But let me just share um this. And here's the article, like the full blog post, right? But then right about when they're talking about rewards, market credits has a little 2-star asterisk next
Oh
to it,
no.
right? Look how little, look how little the asterisks are at the bottom of the screen. It is the smallest text I have ever seen.
Oh no. Oh no.
John, I need my reading glasses for that. My God,
Oh man. So,
that's awesome. I love that. I love
and
that it's
the
so
only
small.
terms and conditions apply about market credits.
Oh
That's the
God.
only thing it's saying. If you want to really read about the terms and conditions of market credits, Andrew, feel free.
What if
We're
I
not going to
read
do
that
that
you could
here.
actually use them at Dave and Buster's? I think I
That
would
might
be
change it.
ecstatic to win. Dave and Buster's is a great place.
That's funny. Well,
Dude, going to Buster's is fun.
there you have it.
Going to bust?
Sorare NBA coming live.
Should we
Excitement
pickle it up?
level. Excitement level
Ooh, I
1
like
to
that.
10 right now.
Ooh,
Go.
7.
I was gonna
Ooh,
say 7.
I was going to say 8.
7.5.
With
Screw you.
the
Wow, Andrew, you're not
rewards.
excited about it? Come on, man.
I think there's
Hey,
still room to F it up.
daily announcement and reward structure could make that number go up or down.
If
Right,
the cards look
exactly.
good,
But
if the cards look good, 10.
let me ask you
Ooh.
this. Are you more confident of that number to go up or down?
Up.
Ooh, up.
All right.
Give me
That's why I didn't start at 10.
real daily competitions, 10.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited. That's why I'm excited.
I love
DFS,
daily.
baby.
Dude, daily competitions are the best. I
They're so
won
much
six
fun.
bucks on DFS on the Monday Night Football games.
There we go.
Wow.
There you go.
I hit a like 4-1 prop bet on this dude to catch a touchdown.
Nice. I
Ooh,
was
dang.
okay. We should do a no, we shouldn't. Don't
Yes, we
gamble,
should.
kids. We should do
Yes.
a
No,
weekly
this is what I'm
gambling
saying.
segment.
Once we can start applying paid subscriptions to the YouTube channel, we can do all this like off content that people have to pay us for.
Oh, I
People are
like
gonna
that.
pay
Yeah.
us to
Yeah,
PG-13.
content.
to talk
X-rated.
about.
I like it. I like it.
You said X-rated and it flooded my mind. No, maybe. Yeah, no, we'll see. But hey, should we send it back to baseball for a pickle before we sign off here?
We
Let's do
should.
it.
We should.
Yeah,
While you do that, should I look up some plays for today? You guys can give me some advice.
WNBA.
I'll give you no for baseball. You
Oh,
guys can give me
baseball's
some.
WNBA.
so hard to bet on,
I know it really is.
especially this time of year.
That's why I'm hoping that you guys can help me.
Oh, hear me out. Otani's gonna hit number 54 tonight.
Oh,
So I should do a prop bet on Otani to hit a home
Uh
run.
single bet parlay or single game parlay, sorry. Do Otani and Max Muncy to hit a home run.
Wow.
Two lefties.
Okay.
Two lefties.
Who's
Who are they
Who's going for
playing?
the Padres?
who's pitching for the Padres tonight?
It's at Dodger Stadium. That's a crazy parlay, Jacob. Let's see it. To hit a home run.
Dylan
Ohtani?
Cease. Oh,
Yeah, perfect. Oh yeah, that means your odds are gonna be through the roof.
It's 14-1 odds. 14-1.
That's it?
All right.
You
I'll
should put a
bet
grand on it.
I'll bet $2.
I like it.
$2 to win 30.
To win
Use that
30,
triple
yeah.
play. That was wild.
There we go. All
We're
right.
gonna
play.
get to see
The bet
tonight
has
two
been
lefties.
cashed. The bet has been cashed.
Otani,
We'll see.
he's
see.
on fire.
Does it cash?
50-50. He's gonna go for 55-55, man.
We might need book it for Jacob. Book it with Jacob then. If this hits,
Book it with Jacob.
we might need book it with Jacob.
Of the three of us, who would be the fade god? Probably me.
Yeah, Nas. Yeah, Josh, you are the
You
fade
could
god.
just fade all my lines.
Yeah. Wait,
I was gonna say
actually though.
Max Muncy, yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Ready from the US. That's definitely
It's Colin Ray.
it's Colin Ray.
Legend. Brewers legend. He's also
the
34.
exact same
though.
age.
Just send it though.
It is the
Central.
Central. It's Dansby Swanson.
Yep.
He might be 30.
No, he's
Okay,
30.
yeah.
There we go.
Ah,
Not on the Cubs.
Younger.
Is it Helsley? Could it be a reliever?
Yeah, let's get a reliever out of the way.
Oh, he's
Same
also
not
30.
Just send
Is
it.
it
Just send
Spencer Steer?
Sure. Let's.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh,
he's correct.
All right,
fade
there
me
we go.
now.
You won
Fade me
pickle.
now.
Wait,
Spencer
should I bet
Steer.
Spencer Steer to hit a home run?
Oh
Oh,
God.
Let's see. What is his odds
Is Spencer
right
Steer? Is he still playing?
now?
yes.
I have his comment.
Reds last night. Spencer Steer.
It's 5-1
was-
odds for him to hit a
Okay.
homer.
Okay.
He's at
Against the
home.
Guardians. Guardians are drunk because they clinched.
All right. We are gonna do another $2 bet to win $10 on a Spencer Steer home run.
Okay, the starting pitcher for the Guardians in 35 innings has given up 6 home runs.
All right.
That's kind of a lot.
We have placed our bets. Again, I'm in a place where it's legal to gamble. Please gamble responsibly. All the terms and conditions apply. Blah 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 blah. We're not sponsored.
Spencer Steer is 1 for 4 yesterday.
1 for
There
4
we
with an
go.
RBI single. I just looked it up. So
There you
he's
have
due.
Do your own
it.
research.
He's due.
He's
Are they
due.
in Cincinnati or in
Wait,
Cleveland?
why did I take a Josh bet? We gotta go fade Josh. Oh no, but it was the pickle. It's the pickle bet.
It was the
wasn't
pickle. The pickle bet.
There we go. Pickleback shots. How do we feel?
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I'm all right with them, honestly. Keep you hydrated.
Actually, yeah, I don't actually mind them either.
I like the taste of pickles
There you
and
go.
the podcast. And the podcast. We're
All right.
we're off
Well,
the rails.
Well, there you have it. Don't forget to check out all of the social medias. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Let us know how excited you are for Sorare NBA. We can't wait for the season to start and for all these final announcements to come out so we know what's actually going on. So we'll be on the lookout for all that fun stuff. Leave us a rating wherever you are listening to the podcast. And until next week, You just attended batting practice. Now you're ready to get in the game. Peace.
Peace.